Peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Hope you had an excellent weekend. I had a very productive one. So, like I said, I had a very productive weekend. I finished 4 videos, so I'm way ahead of schedule, which is awesome and good for everybody that enjoys my content. I will have a new tutorial out. I will have a weekly drawing next week, and I will also have one more thing, but I think I'll keep that for a surprise. I did not finish my hands like I mentioned I might do in last week's video. However, I'm pretty close to being done, and where I'm at, I left them here for a reason, because what I'm going to do to finish these off is kind of my favorite part. It doesn't take a long time, and it really makes them come to life right at the end. So I'm like 98% done coloring them. Hope you like the way they're looking. I'm very satisfied with them. I think the skin tones came out really nice with the colored pencils. I have to admit that this sketchbook, this sketchbook is probably the best sketchbook I've ever owned. The paper is really thin. It's probably only like, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 pounds at the most as far as weight. Actually, I wonder if it says on the front. What was my guess? Oh, I said 60, 70. So it was 80. Not bad, but feels kind of thin for 80. But surprisingly, it handles the many layers of colored pencils that I've used to do this so far quite well, so I'm satisfied with it. I do have one special thing to share with everybody. So the painting that I did a couple weeks ago, I went ahead and made a line art drawing and inked it and everything like that. And I will have the download for this if anybody is interested in printing it out and coloring it. I do have, yes, well, anyways, that will be available. You can download it and print it, whatever. I just thought that would be a cool thing to give everybody a chance to color the Gundam that I painted. And then also this this is a drawing that I did, and this goes with the tutorial that I'm putting out in the next few weeks or so. But yes, so those are the things that I did this weekend. 2 of the things that I did. I didn't do a video of this. I just did it off camera, and yeah, just to get it done quickly. But yeah, so those are the couple of the things that I did this weekend. And also I made that music video for Tesseract, the band that I went and saw in concert a couple weeks ago. I think I mentioned that last week in last week's video. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. Last Thursday, also, Subscriber Portrait 7 went up. So had that one also, if you haven't seen it. I did a few new camera tricks, I guess, if you want to say that, in that video. I'm always trying to step up and do better video for each of those. What else? So weekly drawing number 50 will be this Thursday. Next Thursday will be secret video that will stay secret until it airs. But it is done and it is scheduled to go up, so I'm excited about that. And I somewhat hesitantly mentioned that I am doing illustration. I'm illustrating my first children's book. That project will be in full effect from this point forward. A lot of my extra time will be dedicated to working on that. So once these videos run out, I don't know if I will have a time lapse for Thursdays past that point, but it shouldn't be too long before I have another time lapse. But anyway, so I'm going to start on these hands, and the last thing that I saved, and the reason for saving is like I said, this last part's kind of my favorite. You can see I had two short pencils, so I glued them together. But this is kind of my favorite part. When I did this first hand, I did it off camera, so you guys didn't get to see this first hand really come to life. But I spent so much time on this hand that I saved the last part so that you could see how it evolves, and I thought I would just talk about it a little bit. Anyways, yes, so basically the last thing that I have to do with this is just bring out the highlights, and to do that I'm just going to use white and start. And I've got just tons and tons of layers of colored pencil on at this point, and so the white doesn't go on like really suddenly. You can kind of build it up slowly and really work those highlights in with a softness that makes it look real. And this is my favorite part of doing this, and favorite part on doing this one also, because I did the white part last on these legs, and it was definitely my favorite part on the first hand. So I thought that I would just save it, even though it means that I'm working on this for one more weekly drawing video. I am very proud to have them done at this point. I don't know, after getting these to look the way that they do, because personally I think that they look pretty realistic, and I think that it's very smooth looking. It almost looks like it could be a painting, but it definitely builds my confidence as far as approaching a colored portrait. Now, I'm not going to go crazy and just jump right into a colored portrait. I think, well, one, I don't really have the time right now to do such a taxing project, because I know that if I were to do a colored portrait, I would really, really want to spend an extra amount of time on it, take my time, and really try to build up the layers and get the colors that I want. And I don't know if I really want to do a colored portrait with Prismacolors. I might even wait until I upgrade my colored pencils to a little bit higher quality. I would say Prismacolors can be thought of as professional level colored pencils. I mean, there's certainly professionals that use them. I don't quite consider myself a professional because, well, I'm going to school to be a math teacher after all. If I was a professional artist, I probably wouldn't be in school for mathematics. But they definitely are really versatile. It's just that the wax is a bit weak in the pencils, and I think I showed you the one colored pencil that the entire thing just came apart. And you often have trouble sharpening them, but they're still good colored pencils. I would still recommend them, definitely, because the colored pencils that, well, even my watercolor pencils that I have yet to do a video on are pretty expensive in comparison to the Prismacolors, because you can get a nice pack of 72 Prismacolors for like $70 or so, and you could probably find them online for maybe even cheaper, something like that. But yeah, I think I've gotten to the point where it's time to upgrade my colored pencils to something a little more advanced, and I intend to do that sometime soon. Oh, and off topic of art in general, but yesterday I was walking to the grocery store That's by my house. It's not too far away, but I was walking, and just as I was approaching the intersection, there was a car accident right in front of me. It wasn't like anything to like get excited about. Um, if there's, you know, well, but I watched it, the whole thing like unfold right in front of me, and I felt really bad for the lady that got hit because it was 100% the the guy the other guy driving. It was completely his fault because he was trying to turn around illegally in the intersection, and like I saw him stopped in the intersection, and I was looking at him and I was like, "What is that guy doing?" And then I saw him start to turn around, and I realized that he was making an illegal U-turn. And I mean, I don't care if you do it. Like I do it, but I at least make sure that if I'm turning, there's not somebody coming alongside me and I hit them. Well, he didn't. He didn't check his blind spots, and so he turns right into this lady, and I was like, "That, what an idiot!" And and then all of a sudden, I hear his tires squeal, and he takes off onto the highway and just leaves the scene. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, did that really just happen?" And it wasn't like it was nighttime. It was like, what time was it? It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. It was a bunch of cars out. Everybody was, so it wasn't like nobody saw it. A ton of people saw it, and I was like, "Geez, that's pretty that's pretty ballsy to just like hit and run in the middle of the day, like in front of a ton of people." Unfortunately, I was too far away to read his license plate, um, but I was able to distinguish the make and model of the car and stuff like that. And, um, uh, so I went to the store because and the lady that got hit, she turned and she saw me. By that time, I was at the corner of the intersection, and I pointed and let her knew that I saw everything, and I knew that it was going to take a while for the police to show up anyway. So I went ahead and just ran to the store, and um, yeah, by the time I got back to the intersection, she was parked off to the side of the road, and so I walked up to her, and she was really nice. Oh gosh, it felt so bad. She was a super nice lady, and it was awful. Like, fortunately, the damage to her car was pretty much nothing. There was like a small piece of plastic from the undercarriage that was like dangling, but there was no paint transfer. There was no scratches, which was kind of surprising. Um, but yeah, she was really nice. I gave her my name and phone number. Told her if she needed an eyewitness or whatever when the cops got there, because I had a bag of groceries, so I wasn't going to stand outside. It was pretty cold. So yeah, I gave her my phone number and told her to call me if she needed a witness or something like that. Dealing with insurance, I know that can be a hassle, but yeah. So that was pretty much the most exciting thing that happened on my weekend. Other than that, like I barely left my house at all. I was recording videos, editing videos, and drawing all weekend. Honestly, it was fantastic. Like it was like the best weekend ever. Um, yeah, it was great. I felt very productive, and had a had a probability quiz today that went super well. I like walked in there like ready to go and completely destroyed the test. It was great. It's like the complete opposite of last week. Last weekend was awful. There was like no productivity coming out of my room. It was terrible. But this weekend totally made up for it. Um, yeah, so you can see like the white that I added here. Like it just makes this hand glow. I love it. This is my favorite part. brush some of this off, but yeah, like this is my favorite part of these hands, is going back with this white and highlighting this stuff. Even touch up some of this on this arm too. That white just really makes the hands stick out and look three-dimensional. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, like when you use white, you don't want to use like pure white, so I'm actually going to go over this probably with like a yellow color and kind of tone it down just a bit, because I don't know. I think in this case, white is just a little bit too desaturated for the hands to look real. Because, I mean, you look at my hand, you don't see any white highlights. It's bright, but it's not actually white. So you want to add just a little bit of color over top. This is like a creamy, actually it's cream. Yeah, this is like just an off-white yellow. I think this is a good color to touch those white spots with. Just tone them down a little bit and make them blend into the rest of the hand really nicely. And I really like to use the Prismacolorless blender. Like, I absolutely love these things. I was for a while blending my colored pencils with solvents, and I like that technique. But when it comes to like really, really rich colors and blending with like precision and getting this really, really smooth texture, I just can't get it with the solvent blender using a brush. And plus, like, it smears the color and it desaturates it, and it literally takes it off the paper. I like the burnishing much, much better. I still use the brush technique with the solvents, especially if I'm doing like darker colors and I'm doing like a wide area. Like, what's a good example of that? I now have one. So like this background here, it's just all black colored pencil. Do that with use solvents and you'll smooth that right out. It's fantastic. Just a little tip for all the artists that watch this, that use colored pencils, I guess. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I am definitely going to be done with these hands now, but hopefully you enjoy this video. I actually did something, I feel like, but yeah, I will see you all next week. Make sure you check out the weekly drawing coming out this Thursday, and I will see you all later. Take care. Peace.